Hello and welcome to a channel update video. This is a looking back on 2021 video. Wow, I can't believe it's looking back on 2021 and a look ahead to the future for 2022. So my plans for the next year and looking back as we have done over the past few years on the previous year's video. So I have my video list up here. I accidentally selected something. There we go. So we're going to start from January 1st, 2021, which was my looking back on 2020 video, enough said. Kicked off my top 20 favorite films of 2020, which was pretty much like my favorite 20 films out of the 24 I'd seen in 2020. Big video. I did my completing the Masters of Cinema collections. That was like a journey, some 7-8 years in the making, completing the entire, back catalog and current contemporary catalog of the Eureka Masters of Cinema collection. It was like an almost hour-long Blu-ray update video. This one was really interesting, calling Edge's bluff, my social media feud with a WWE Hall of Famer. This is one of my favorite videos I've ever made. It was just a really funny story that came about where me and Edge were kind of commenting back and forth with one another on Instagram. And it was a little bit of a testy kind of faux argument between the two of us, and so I kind of told the whole story, used a lot of clips and stuff, and I'm really happy with how that video turned out because I think it's a fun little story, and I was really happy with how I edited it. So that's probably one of the best things I did in 2021, to be honest. Continued a few more, chipped away at the Epic Film Challenge too, not too many. Did my virtual tour through my 1,000 plus films in my collection that I own on Blu-ray that I haven't seen before. And also in 2021, I started my Blu-ray watch list mission, which I'll make a separate video about, kind of looking back on how far I got with that in 2021. So watch this space for that. I started doing a Reorganizing the Collection series, and it was just so funny to me that, in my dressing gown at like 2 a.m, I just grabbed the camera, no lighting, no microphone, and was just like, bleh, bleh. I don't know what I'm doing with my collection, and it got like 1.5 thousand views. So it just goes to show you, you put in a lot of work, time, and effort into something like the Edge video, 794 views. That took me about 2 days to edit. I think the Reorganizing the Collection video took me 2 minutes to edit. Literally, I just threw it in there unedited. So it's interesting that when you find what works and what doesn't, it's very easy, I think, to follow the views, and I'm just not that interested in that. So, it's just one of those funny things. Did a lot of conquering my collection stuff, which I'm happy with. There was a lot of desire in me to make that series, Conquering My Collection, like a staple of my channel. It never quite got there, but I feel like in 2021 I at least made a concerted effort. And then in March of 2021, one of my favorite things I've ever done on this channel was my Cameron King of the World series, which ran all throughout March of 2021. It was a video for every single day, 31 videos, all about the filmography, the life, and the behind-the-scenes stories of the films of James Cameron. Cameron King of the World. Super, super happy with that. So, honestly, it's one of those things where editing-wise, I wish I could have done something special with it. But content-wise, like, I researched those episodes. That's the most extensive research I've ever done on anything, like, ever in my life, I think. And I really enjoyed the process of that. And spending like 6 months putting that series together, prepping it, and then getting it ready to go out every day for March of 2021. And it didn't do very well. A couple of videos don't even have 200 views. You spend so much time on something again. And this isn't me moaning at all, because I love doing it. And that was the main thing. And I felt so proud that I'd finished it. Not that I'm proud of the final. I am proud of the final result, but I'm more like self-satisfied. I think is the better word. Is satisfaction over pride. I'm just really happy that I pulled all that together, and I had so many thoughts, and I was just like super super happy with it. Then I did a 3-hour long look back video. I like to look back. What can I say? reflecting on the past decade of this channel. So we hit the 10-year anniversary of RazorWire Reviews. I wanted to celebrate that more. I wanted to do like a compilation of clips from like all 10 years. And I got through the first year and I just completely flagged, lost steam. And ultimately all of that, including what I'm going to talk about later on with looking forward to 2022, all of that kind of wanting to do more and not being able to is really tied into how much busier I've been in the past year or so. I got a new job and that has kind of been one of the most amazing things ever, but it has sapped my kind of YouTube time, which is fine. But, you know, I always feel that pull, you know, to, you know, when I'm at my new job, I feel the pull to, I could make a video about this. I haven't got the time, you know, so it isn't for lack of wanting. It really isn't. My passion hasn't gone anywhere. It's just my time has gone. I started a new series called Scene on Streaming, which I thought would be a good way to push me into making more videos because I could talk about things I'd watched on any streaming service. And I just, again, the time, I'm beginning to really sound like James Rolfe. No time. 540, shit. If you get that reference, bless you. Blu-ray stuff, I posted a Studio Ghibli impressions video with Man v Film, and that was us talking about Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. We did record a follow-up video on Kiki's Delivery Service, which I still haven't edited. So, yeah, one of those things where, again, the desire to do it is there, but it's just difficult to edit these things together. That's where a lot of the Blu-ray stuff started coming in 2021 because it was quick content to make, but also stuff that I was, you know, genuinely passionate about as well. Which brings me to the Blu-ray Roulette series, which is kind of a series within the series of Conquering My Collection. And I found it kind of funny how I started numbering those, and it is kind of a personal in-joke really, but I don't know if anyone has ever noticed, but in the description of all my videos that aren't like linked to another series. So just this video is part of the RazorwireReviews canon, which is, you know, bullshit. But I noticed Zaran Isaac did this about 10 years ago. I don't think he does it anymore. But his kind of series, his all-encompassing series on his channel is called the Multimedia Chronicles. So I thought, well, my overarching, you know, canon is RazorwireReviews, just the odds and ends videos that I make. So under a video that says RazorwireReviews 2022, this will be episode 1, I think. Maybe not. Maybe I don't know if I posted anything this year. I really can't tell. We're halfway through January 2022, and I couldn't tell you when the last video I made was or what it was. Let me think. I got nothing. I really got nothing. But anyway, so in theory, it would be RazorwireReviews 2022, episode 1. So I just like numbering that and seeing at the end of the year how many miscellaneous videos that I made, even though they're really the bulk of my channel. But if it's like a Cameron King of the World, it's like a special series, that's its own thing, like a No Stairway production, if you will. So it got to the point where it was like Conquering My Collection, number 45, Blu-ray Roulette, number 4, RazorwireReviews 2021, episode 45. I just... because that's how I've started to save them in my archives, and I was just kind of tickling myself with just completely over-egging the numbering system. But the Blu-ray Roulette series was hugely successful, and 1,000 views on the first video, and then the other ones were really creepy. They were like Blu-ray update kind of level views, which is kind of crazy for a video that's just me talking about a film. But it really latched onto something that I think collectors enjoyed, and I loved doing them. But again, time just became the issue. But I really enjoyed that burst of energy I had last summer where I was cranking out those Blu-ray roulettes. And if you don't know what it is, I have all of the films in my collection on Blu-ray that I've never seen before in my watch list on Letterboxd. And I just hit shuffle, and the first film that comes up, I watch it and then talk about it. And it's completely random, and it's like so different every time because my collection is so varied. It's super fun. And someone did ask me in a comment a week or two ago if I'd be bringing it back. It will be coming back this year at some point for sure. Talked about going back to cinema for the first time. Going back to Cineworld, seeing Quiet Place Part 2. Some Blu-ray updates, which I kind of swore I wouldn't do. So I fell off the wagon in a fairly spectacular fashion, but not for too long. So it was kind of more like a big dump in the middle of the year, I think. And then I eased back a little bit. And then Christmas happened, so you'll be seeing a new update for 2022. I talked about my stupidest double dip ever with the Alien Anthology series. I made a discussion video I was really happy with, which was Should The Last of Us Part 3 ever get made? I was really passionate about that video and enjoyed making it. So there's some seen on streaming reviews that I did of various films and TV shows, and again, varying kind of success in terms of the views and things like that. And I talked about The Intervention, which was me kind of bucking up my ideas about my collecting and getting through my collection. More Blu-ray update stuff, more Blu-ray roulette stuff, the ridiculous HMV Premium Collection sale haul that I did. I was totally totally wrangled into and wrapped into that by Graham from Man v Film, so he's to blame for that, I think. And then I was away for a while. Now we're getting to like a point where it's like every month I'd make a video or two, if that. And so, the channel started to falter at a certain point. And there's just a few miscellaneous videos. I did a couple of things about No Way Home. Didn't really deliver on the spoiler full review of that, which people were asking me about. And then I ended the year, and that's right, so I haven't made a video this year. I ended the year with 2 back-to-back videos looking back on the 20th anniversary of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone and The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. So that was 2021. It's a pretty weak year in terms of quantity compared to previous years, but I think that there were some videos that had decent quality, for me anyway, that I was quite happy with. So, it's not all bad. And again, the new job is just incredibly rewarding and amazing. So for me, it's it's a shame that I don't get more time to do YouTube, but I'm not too I'm not losing any sleep over it. It's just one of the things like, I'd love to make a video about that. Don't have the time, moving on. So it is what it is. And I'm sat here now tonight at like 11:30, trying to pump out a few videos because I love doing this. I really do love doing this, and I don't think I would ever want to stop doing it. And I feel like I'm stuck in an endless cycle of just making videos where I talk about how I'm strapped for time and that I'm always going to make videos, and I'm always passionate about videos. And I'm sure that the people who follow my videos fairly regularly will probably be just bored to tears of me talking about this sort of stuff, because I do tend to repeat myself, and that is, I hold my hands up to that. Now, actually, before we continue, let me grab, not a Blu-ray, nothing interesting, just a cold bottle of water. I get out of practice making videos as well, like the verbal stamina. I don't know. And I'd like to keep this video one take if possible, so I'll be leaving that sip of water in. So 2022, what can you expect from the channel? Well, I have one phrase for you, and the phrase contains 4 words, and that will define what you can expect in 2022. 24-hour movie marathon. That might have blocked my voice with the microphone. 24-hour movie marathon. This week, me and Connie started 24-hour movie marathon 11. Getting all of that? Yeah. So, yeah, about that. Oh boy. So, again, it's the same story. It's the time issue, and it is completely snowballed and smothered me, and I have a lot of stuff to edit. But I've really made a concerted effort in the past week or so to get cracking with Marathon 8. And yes, for those who are new to the channel, I am 3 marathons behind and currently filming the 4th unreleased marathon. But if you want a quick preview, a little hint of where things are going to go, because these things are drawn by Connie. Oh wait, it's the other way around. A nice dramatic reveal in the wrong direction. Let's see. I will show you what we watched in the previous, or the upcoming for you, 3 marathons. Let's do this carefully so I don't pull anything off the wires here, because these are very nice. And I'll just put them up briefly for you if anyone's interested, but these are the drawings for Marathon 8, which was done in January of 2019. and I'm currently editing, and the next marathon was done in the dreaded 2022. Just pull this around. This is actually quite cumbersome to, there we go. This is 24 Hour Movie Marathon 9. So 8 is called 24 Hour Movie Marathon 8, the last marathon. Clearly it isn't. This is 24 Hour Movie Marathon 9, Generations. Let's get the other one. I can't remember if we did that. We did it just before the pandemic really kicked off. So I think it was maybe January or February of 2020 that we did Marathon 9. Let's pull that around. And then this was done in January of 2021. 24 Hour Movie Marathon 10, retro version. So there you go. And we're currently in the midst of Marathon 11. And that's something where, yeah, I'm really stuck on time, but the marathon will never be kicked to the curb. Even if I have like no time at all, I will find a way. I will watch films at work. I will take a toilet break and watch 15 minutes at a time if I have to. The marathon continues. So, and it will continue to evolve and change and shift and morph. And you'll see that over the next 3 marathons, because things do change. And that's just out of necessity. You know, long gone are the days where I didn't have a full-time job and was just doing a bit of freelance work on the side and had all the time in the world to just watch films for like 3 or 4 days and then spend 2 months doing pretty much nothing but editing the marathon. Those were good times in Norway, and they're all recorded in these great movie marathons. They're great for me. I love looking back on them and kind of revisiting, you know, memories of me and Connie talking about films, but also the skits that we did and stuff like that. So yeah, and Marathon 8, I'm really looking forward to get that one done and then getting that out there. So all I'll say is for 2022, that's my main focus. First and foremost, there are things I'd like to finish. You know, the Twin Peaks series, I'd love to kind of finish that, but there's just no demand for it whatsoever. So like the payoff is nothing. It's pure satisfaction. And when it takes that long to make one of those videos, it's, you know, there's so many other things I could do that people would want to see. And it gives me an extra drive to do it. Like the marathons, you know, the marathons are at least, you know, comparatively for me, fairly, or relatively, I should say, relatively for me, fairly successful, and people like to watch them. So I'm more driven. But also that's my favorite thing to do, is to do the marathon videos. So why I've been so stuck on editing them, I just do not know. It is what it is, and it bees that way sometimes. Otherwise, for 2022, I can only say expect the same kind of staggered output. I can't see me going back to regular videos anytime soon with the new job. But all the same, I'm always going to try and stick around wherever I can. And again, I'm just repeating the same old shit I usually talk about, where it's like, I'll never leave. And there's just a chorus of about 284 viewers who will eventually watch this video going, I wasn't asking if you'd leave. I couldn't care less. But, you know, I like to keep people informed if I can. And yeah, you know, it's nice even though I'm inactive. I get comments, you know, every 5 or 6 days. On the most random of videos. It'll always be like something I posted in like 2011. It's like, oh, how did anyone find that or watch that or enjoy that for that matter? I got like a comment on like some shitty review we did in our bedroom, and it's like, great review, like, and I was like, really? I mean, I know that some people just leave those comments just completely randomly, and there's no actual, you know, there's no actual comment there. It's just like a great review, you know, here's how to, you know, take a security tag off a Blu-ray, great review, you know, like here's me going out for the day in London, great review. But you know, I'll see these comments and go, really? Like, how are people finding these things? And then you see like my review on In the Realm of the Senses, or my rant against that film. It's like almost 500,000 views. And then you look at the analytics and it's like the average view duration is like 9 seconds. People see my face and they're gone, but it amasses these hundreds of thousands of views. And it's just so strange. Again, something that I just turned the camera on and just ranted for 30 minutes and just uploaded it like wholesale with no pictures, no editing whatsoever, just pissed off at the film. and you get all these views and probably about what, 30 quid of ad revenue, and then you sweat and you toil over something for like 3 days, you post it and you get like 100 views and maybe earn about 7 pence or something like that. But yeah, anyway, so it's YouTube. It's not a job, it's a hobby. It always has been. But I have been lucky with certain things like Patreon, where I've been able to like upgrade stuff for the channel, which I'm always still really grateful for. And speaking of that, I'm going to make a video soon. Not sure when or really how I want to approach it, but one of my Patreon supporters for many years and one of my best commenters passed away last year, and I just found out about it recently, and it was really sad. I didn't know him that well personally. I couldn't call him a friend either, but we commented back and forth so much. It was just such a presence on this channel that started to feel missed for me until I kind of did some digging and realized that he'd passed away. So I want to make a video for him and about him. So I look forward to that kind of. It's weird because I can't feel very like. I can feel sad about it for sure, but it's like I'm not like grieving over it or anything, because I didn't know him too well. So it's going to be like the tone of that video is going to be weird. There's no way I can pull it off seamlessly, but I want to make a video talking about him and some of the films that he liked and all that kind of stuff. So that's something I really want to do, and yeah. So but it's nice when you do something like this and you do get some kind of like support from people. I know that people have like the YouTube membership programs and stuff. I closed my Patreon I think a couple of years ago or a year ago, I'm not too sure. The pandemic years just don't feel like years to me, so I can't remember when it was that I shut down the Patreon. But I do get ad revenue, but that's very sparse. But it's nice. It still is nice, and I appreciate it and stuff. But more than any of that stuff, it's the comments. I just love kind of interacting with people and kind of chatting when I can. I do fall behind on comments sometimes too, but it's nice. I like to kind of get a backlog going, and I'll just kind of sit down one night, set aside an hour, and just roll through like a couple hundred comments and just kind of reply to people, or just avoid the weird ones, delete some of the offensive ones, and then just leave a like on the ones that are nice and I have nothing to say, and then reply to the ones that have kind of genuine things. Like someone recently commented like an essay about like all the. I did one of the videos I did last year was the Studio Ghibli tier list. So I ranked all the Ghibli films, put them in a tier list, and someone replied with like I think every Ghibli film and like a little mini review of it. I was like, Jesus Christ! And it was like I loved the enthusiasm, but I kind of like was intimidated to even read it. So it took me like a couple of weeks to go, okay, let's just focus and like read all of this. And it was great. It was an amazing comment. I love that stuff. It gets to the point where a great review doesn't really satisfy my enjoyment of receiving comments, so I like the discussions and the interactivity and stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I went off on a complete tangent there, as I normally do, but yeah, looking forward to 2022 and just making new videos. And I don't know, and if you have any requests, please leave them down below. I do get requests occasionally, very occasionally, very, very, very sparingly, but if you do have something you'd like to see in 2022, leave a comment down below and I'll consider it. I mean, it's all I can do, I suppose, but if something catches my fancy, oh yeah, I could do that. If there's a demand for it, perhaps. But, still, again, it will be as and when I can do these things. But tonight I'm going to try and film a few things. But, right, definitely rambling. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you all had a good Christmas. Mine was shit. We were sick all over Christmas. Not COVID, but it was like it felt like it. One of the worst sicknesses, maybe the worst sickness I've ever had. So Christmas Day was just like a blur, really horrible. But and same New Year was rough as well. It was one of the things where you got to get back to work and you just feel miserable. So it was a rough 2 to 3 weeks for me. But I hope you all had a happy New Year. And if you didn't, I'm sorry. Hopefully 2022 will be slightly less shit than last year. Thanks for watching.
It's alright by me. Apart from the fact he throws cans of Carlin into a tree. Yeah, he's really cool. Yeah, he's really cool. But he's not quite as cool as you.